Your unique story, our global audience. Global One Media.
Thanks so much for tuning into our Stocks to Watch series, where we bring you exciting, informative, and innovative stories from company executives globally. I'm Ashley Berry, and we're welcoming Jason Bontempo, CEO at Gladiator Metals. The mineral exploration company is focused on the advancement of multiple high-grade copper prospects with a principal focus on the highly prospective Whitehorse Copper Belt, Yukon, Canada. They're listed on the TSXV as GLAD, the OTCQB as GDTRF, and the Frankfurt Stock Exchange as ZX7. Jason, thanks for being here today.
Hi, Ashley. Thank you. It's good to be here.
Yes, absolute pleasure. So I'm really excited to hear about Gladiator Metals, including its conception and, of course, current mission and vision.
Yes, well, Gladiator was founded by some collegial mining entrepreneurs, and including myself. And in fact, one of my partners, he also was part of the founding of First Quantum Minerals, which is a very successful copper company. And really our focus was to go and search for world-class mineral and resource assets that we could acquire and advance. So we'd been looking, for a good 12 to 18 months. And then the Whitehorse Copper Project opportunity presented itself. There's a little bit of background there because I had actually come across this project 15 years ago when I tried to bring it to market in 2008. But unfortunately, the global financial crisis put an end to that. And so here we are today, and we finally have the opportunity to actually see its potential.
I guess you had some incredible foresight there. That's really impressive. Diving a little bit deeper into the Whitehorse Copper Project, I know it's focused on the advancement of multiple known high-grade copper prospects. Perhaps you can tell us about the specific advantages and why you've invested in it now, and you obviously covered that, and the current exploration status.
Yeah. Okay. So look, it's a very advanced brownfields project. One of the really interesting components to it is it is a very high grade copper project. Now it can be up to 3 to 6 times higher than your normal copper project, and that's what makes it so superior in our mind. And what that means is you will have lower disturbance, lower tonnages, and much better economics. Its exploration stage at the moment is the fact that it was originally a brownfield site. So from one area, it was previously mined. But what that company did, and that's 40 years ago, by the way, they did uncover a number of prospects that now we get the benefit to test and see what the potential is. So it really is just the beginning, and the previous operators only just scratched the surface. And now our focus is to go in and test those 4 or 5 areas that are across a 15-kilometre strike, which is not very far at all. And we're looking forward to testing that.
Terrific. So maybe you could talk a little bit about the de-risking of these projects and sort of what approach you take and the methods.
Yeah. So it first of all, what we should know is this project's been dormant for 40 years and been privately owned, and it's the first time that it's come to market again, where there's been a dedicated technical team and a dedicated financing and funding for the project. So what we did is we started with essentially taking all the old data that we could find and digitizing it. And by doing that, that allows us to really hone in and target exactly where we want to test. And when I say test, I'm talking about drilling. By drilling, we're revealing what resource is there. So we've done that, and we've also now advanced to testing or drilling the first prospect area, the largest prospect area as we can see at the moment. Mm-hmm. And so far, it's proving very beneficial. That what we're finding, what we were seeing, we're finding. So at this point, what we're going to do is systematically work through each of those prospect areas in the Whitehorse Copper Belt. It's over 15 kilometres. We've started at Cowley Park. We're moving to, I'll name their names, Cub Trend, and then we're moving to North Star and Arctic Chief and Best Chance. And as we move along and drill test these areas, what we're doing is revealing its potential for a resource and a very high grade resource.
Yeah, it sounds like there's a lot of activity going on there. Maybe you can talk a little bit about what the specific benefits of operating in stable jurisdictions such as Canada are.
Yeah, well, look, first of all, obviously an excellent rule of law, very sophisticated capital markets, and excellent mining minerals and resources, and mining labour resources and intellectual property in Canada. It goes without saying. But I think in particular, the Canadian government has developed their critical mineral strategy. And a big part of that strategy is to advance copper, and copper is going to be obviously critical for the energy transition and production of batteries. And so from that, they're looking at reviewing the permitting processes that are involved with bringing these copper projects into production. And really for the Whitehorse Copper Belt, what is advantageous is that, again, it is high grade, it's going to be low tonnage, and on top of that, it's very, very close to the city of Whitehorse. So its proximity to infrastructure, its proximity to labour resources is going to be an excellent advantage. And in particular, because you're not having to build or develop these infrastructures, again, a lower carbon footprint. So, that is the critical advantages of being in Canada.
Yeah, and it sounds like you have the community support, you have the government support, really a win-win situation. Why copper? Why now? And, what excites you the most? And how do you get other investors to invest in your company?
Well, copper now is, as I mentioned, going to be critical for the energy transition. You have obviously a massive lithium boom. That lithium boom is happening because you've got car manufacturers scrambling for the metal to produce electric cars. But along with that is going to come a significant amount of copper requirement in those batteries for cars. And that's just vehicles. You then move to energy transmission infrastructure, energy storage, which is big batteries. They all need copper. And at the moment, on the element table, there's not a better metal for the electric transition, which is copper.
And it truly sounds like those are the critical resources that we need moving forward. Anything you'd like to add, Jason?
Well, look, in terms of catalysts moving forward, we are going to commence drilling again in September, and that drilling will go through right till the end of the year, and that will obviously create a lot of news. We're testing and expanding on the prospect areas, and ultimately we're looking to produce a very significant copper resource, high-grade copper resource. We'll reveal one, which I think is going to attract a lot of interest from the mineral and resources market, given its high grade.
Fantastic. Well, we wish you the best of luck. We will certainly be keeping an eye on you and your company. Jason Bontempo, CEO at Gladiator Metals. Thank you so much for your time and for sharing your important story here on Stocks to Watch with Global One Media. We look forward to additional updates.
Thank you, Ashley. Thanks.